All around us, hidden from plain sight, exists a secret kingdom. It is a world of incredible power and mystery, the world of fungi. These organisms are not plants, nor are they animals. They belong to a kingdom all their own, a vast and ancient family of life. From the yeast that makes our bread rise, to the magnificent mushrooms that sprout on the forest floor, fungi are everywhere. They are the great recyclers of our planet, breaking down dead matter and returning vital nutrients to the soil. Without them, life as we know it simply could not exist. This kingdom is full of strange and wonderful forms, each with a unique story to tell, a story of survival, growth, and transformation. Imagine a single-celled creature, so tiny that millions can fit on the head of a pin. This is yeast. It floats in the air, rests on the skin of fruits, and lives in the soil beneath our feet. Though small, its impact is enormous. Under a microscope, we see a world of tiny spheres and ovals. These are individual yeast cells, each one a complete living being. Some, like the baker's yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae, are smooth and round, like miniature pearls. Others might be slightly elongated, but they are all part of this microscopic universe. They are the quiet, invisible engines that have shaped our world in countless ways, working tirelessly in the shadows. But the kingdom of fungi also has its giants. Think of the mushrooms we see in the woods after a rain shower. These are the fruiting bodies of a much larger organism, a vast network of threads hidden underground. This network, called the mycelium, can spread for miles, connecting trees and plants in a complex web. The mushroom is simply the part of the fungus that produces spores, the tiny seeds that will travel on the wind to find new homes. From the brilliant red of a fly agaric to the earthy brown of a porcini, mushrooms display a dazzling array of colors, shapes, and sizes, each perfectly adapted to its environment. Whether it is a microscopic yeast cell or a sprawling mushroom, all fungi share a common purpose: to grow and reproduce. They are masters of decomposition, feasting on organic matter and unlocking the nutrients held within. This process is essential for the health of our ecosystems. They are nature's tiny powerhouses, quietly working to maintain the balance of life. In this exploration, we will journey into their world, from the smallest cell to the largest forest dweller. We will discover how these remarkable organisms live, how they grow, and how they have become such vital partners to humanity. It is a journey into a world of wonder that is all around us, waiting to be discovered. Let us look closer at the life of yeast. These single-celled fungi live a simple yet fascinating existence. When conditions are right, with plenty of food and warmth, yeast begins to grow and multiply. It does this through a process called budding. A small bump, or bud, starts to form on the side of the mother cell. This bud grows larger and larger, receiving a copy of the mother's genetic material. It is like a tiny balloon being slowly inflated on the side of another. This process is a marvel of efficiency, allowing a small population of yeast to grow into a massive colony in a very short time. The bud continues to grow until it is almost the same size as the parent cell. Eventually, a wall forms between them, and the new daughter cell separates. It is now an independent individual, ready to start the process all over again. Sometimes, the new cells don't separate right away. They can stick together, forming short chains or clusters. Looking at them under a microscope, you can see cells at all stages of this process: small new buds, larger developing ones, and cells that have just broken free. This simple act of budding is the key to yeast's incredible power to transform its surroundings, whether it's a baker's dough or a brewer's vat. There are two main groups, or phyla, of fungi that include yeasts. The first is Ascomycotina, often called the sac fungi. This is the largest group in the fungal kingdom. Baker's yeast and brewer's yeast belong here. They get their name from a special structure they form for sexual reproduction, a tiny sac called an ascus, which holds the spores. Most of the yeasts we use in our daily lives, from baking bread to making wine, are members of this important group. They are the true workhorses of the yeast world, known for their ability to ferment sugars with great efficiency. The second major group is Basidiomycotina, the same group that includes most of the mushrooms we know. While we often think of this group for its large, visible fungi, it also contains some yeasts. These yeasts can look similar to their Ascomycotina cousins under a microscope, but their life cycles and genetics are quite different. Some can cause diseases in plants or animals, playing a very different role in nature. Understanding these two great divisions helps us to appreciate the incredible diversity that exists even within the microscopic world of yeasts. It shows us that there is not just one kind of yeast, but a whole universe of them. When we wander through a forest, we enter the enchanting realm of mushrooms. These are the visible reproductive parts of the vast fungal networks below ground. They come in an astonishing variety of forms. Consider the common button mushroom, Agaricus bisporus, which we find in our supermarkets. It is white or brown, with a smooth, rounded cap and a sturdy stem. As it matures, its cap opens up to reveal dark gills underneath, where millions of spores are produced. These mushrooms are cultivated in controlled environments, growing on composted material in dark, humid rooms, mimicking the conditions of a rich forest floor. Then there are the wild, edible treasures that foragers seek. The chanterelle, for instance, is a beautiful mushroom that glows like gold on the forest floor. It doesn't have true gills like a button mushroom. Instead, it has ridges or wrinkles that run down its stem. It has a delicate, fruity aroma, sometimes compared to apricots. Chanterelles form a special relationship with trees, like oaks and beeches, a partnership where the fungus and the tree help each other survive. They cannot be farmed like button mushrooms. They must be found in the wild, making them a special seasonal delight for those who know where to look. Another prized edible is the porcini, known in Italy as little pigs. This mushroom is a king of the forest. It has a thick, bulbous stem and a broad, brownish cap that can grow to be quite large. Unlike mushrooms with gills, the underside of a porcini cap is spongy. This sponge-like surface is made of countless tiny tubes, each one releasing spores when the mushroom is mature. Porcini are found in forests of pine, spruce, and fir, and their rich, nutty flavor makes them one of the most sought-after wild mushrooms in the world. Finding a large porcini is a moment of pure joy for any mushroom hunter. From the morel, with its strange honeycomb-like cap, to the oyster mushroom, which grows in shelf-like clusters on the side of trees, the diversity is breathtaking. Each has a unique shape, color, and texture. Some are delicate and fragile, while others are robust and meaty. This variety is not just for show. It is a reflection of the different ways mushrooms have evolved to spread their spores and thrive in their particular corner of the natural world. They are a beautiful and mysterious part of our planet's biodiversity, a reminder of the complex web of life that connects all living things. For thousands of years, humans have formed a remarkable partnership with these tiny powerhouses. The use of yeast in baking and brewing is an ancient art. When we make bread, we add baker's yeast to the dough. The yeast begins to feed on the sugars in the flour. As it does, it releases tiny bubbles of carbon dioxide gas. These bubbles get trapped in the dough, causing it to expand and rise. This is what gives bread its light, airy texture. Without yeast, our bread would be flat and dense. It is a simple, almost magical transformation, all thanks to the work of these microscopic fungi. In the world of brewing, yeast plays an equally crucial role. To make beer or wine, brewers and winemakers create a sugary liquid, from malted barley for beer or from grape juice for wine. They then add a specific strain of brewer's yeast. This yeast consumes the sugar and, through a process called fermentation, converts it into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Different strains of yeast produce different flavors, which is why there are so many types of beer and wine in the world. From crisp lagers to rich ales, the final character of the drink is shaped by the humble yeast cell. Humans have learned to select and cultivate these strains to create a wonderful variety of beverages. Our reliance on fungi extends far beyond the kitchen. In modern industry, yeast is grown in enormous quantities. This is done in large, sterile containers called fermenters. Inside, the yeast is given a perfect environment, a steady supply of sugary liquid, oxygen, and a controlled temperature. In these ideal conditions, the yeast population can double in just a few hours. This industrial-scale cultivation allows us to produce yeast for baking, but also for making biofuels like ethanol, and for producing vitamins and proteins for animal feed. The tiny yeast cell has become a miniature factory, working for us on a massive scale. From the bread on our table to the medicines that keep us healthy, fungi are our silent partners. Mushrooms provide us with food, while yeasts give us bread, beer, and industrial products. Learning about them is not just an interesting scientific journey. It is about understanding a fundamental part of our own lives and history, They show us how even the smallest of organisms can have a profound impact on the world. The next time you enjoy a slice of bread or see a mushroom in the park, take a moment to appreciate these incredible members of the fungal kingdom. They are nature's tiny, tireless helpers.